This lesbian believes that a house divided against itself cannot stand. I know what you're all thinking, that this is oversharing. Actually, I am not a lesbian, but I may as well be. And if I were to be a lesbian, and if we were to be in Uganda, then I would have been killed. Maybe not instantly killed, but I would have definitely not be able to continue my speech. So what I want to say today is that we have a problem, because we confuse diversity for disunity. And now I stand here, and I wanted to go to the root of the problem in order to see what can we do to fix the problem. So I went to my high school, because that's the most accessible place you have as a teenager. And what I've seen in my high school is probably what you all see in your high schools, that there are groups. And at this age, it is okay to have groups. At this age, it is okay to have groups because you have insecurities and because you want to feel like you fit somewhere. And it's okay because you have something that makes you stand out and you want to find the person next to you that has the same feature that makes him stand out in order for you to feel like you belong. And it is perfectly okay. But what I believe it's not okay for you is to stay around your group and not be able to communicate. I believe it is not okay for us to stay just in our groups and all we do all day long is to point out fingers towards the others and discriminate them and bully them. And I believe that from here we create the homophobia, we create the racism, and we create the discriminations. And these are all problems that we shouldn't have to confront with in the 21st century. And what's even worse is that we grow up into adults. Adults that still stay around the table and that still can't communicate, and all they do is to point out fingers towards each other, exactly what we do in high school. And we don't want to have adults that are not able to communicate. Because if in high school we have the Louis Vuitton girls, we have the teacher's pets, we have the nerds, the smokers, the skateboarders, and so on, we have the same groups as adults, just based on other features. So as we grow up, we have the 4x4 versus the public transport, we have the holiday in Dubai versus the holiday in Mamaya, and then we have the Romans versus the non-Romans, and the straights versus the LGBT community. And these groups are not able to communicate, and these groups do not understand each other. So if we saw that the problem is from here, from when we are in high school and we are little, I believe what we need today is a revolution in education. Now here I stay, and I want to give you an example of what I believe we need in our education. My classmates, we have a teacher, and this teacher, each time she sees us make a homophobic joke, each time she sees us make a racist joke or basically bullying somebody, she makes us stand up in a crowd and apologize. And now I want you all to imagine standing up here in my spot and apologizing because you threw a stone at the lesbian me. And you will feel ashamed. And that's exactly what we need, because maybe you won't apologize from your heart, but you will feel ashamed, and we need social enforcement. Because we have all this legal enforcement that tells us that you can be homophobic and you can be racist and you can discriminate, but it's all for nothing if we don't have the social enforcement. We need more people to stand up and apologize for their mistakes. I believe this is what we need, and we need it now. And from here, from high school, we need to be educated not to discriminate anymore. Because there are a lot of teachers who hear us make these jokes and they just choose to ignore it. And this is outrageous. And there are even a lot of teachers that join in the banter and the bullying. And I believe in a society of the 21st century, this shouldn't be and couldn't be something we should make. It's a huge mistake. So I believe here is where the ministry should step up and do its job and train the teachers the L word and explain to them that they shouldn't be homophobic and they shouldn't be ignorant, because ignorance is something that hurts in the world of the 21st century. So at the end of my speech, what I want to tell you is that A house that's diverse can stand, but a house that is united will fall down, and we are all going down with it. Thank you very much.
So, apart from the social side of this matter, there are certain religions which do not tolerate so-called LGBT communities. What should we do about that?
Yeah, it is true. We have a lot of people that are religious and believe that the LGBT community and the members of the LGBT community are something that shouldn't be accepted. But, you know, it is very hard to change the mentality of somebody. We are aware of that. But I'm saying that even if these people choose to believe that because it's their choice, they shouldn't be able to manifest their belief up in the streets and everywhere. They should be taught to accept them. Maybe not agree with them, but what I'm saying is that if they accept it and if they are not focused in their belief, then we won't have a problem.
I do like the word I. You have underlined so beautifully. How do you include yourself in that marvelous I?
How I include myself in this process is that at first I tried to be aware of all the problems we have. And basically what I'm doing is that I'm trying to be a teacher for the ones who don't know this, and each time I hear somebody make a joke and like bullying somebody, I try to stand up and explain that it is not okay and that the person should apologize. So basically what I'm trying is to make my own social enforcement on other people.
You mentioned jokes several times. Do you feel that joking about somebody is that big of an issue?
Yes, I do certainly feel that joking about somebody is that big of an issue because we've seen a lot of cases where people were bullied and they really went through something bad because of it. And I believe that we can find a lot of other things we can joke around, and I believe we need to stop jokes that are directly homophobic, that are directly racist, and we should stop bullying. So yes, I do believe that we can call them jokes, because this is a really serious issue we have.
Okay, thank you very much, IOANA.
Thank you very much.